Congratulations. It's a big moment. We're going to start with A.J. Jacobson from Rivals.
Verone, I know about your versatility and the different positions you can play. So I was just kind of wondering, this fall camp, what positions are you focusing on mostly? Where are you spending most of your practice time in camp?
I've mostly spent my time at free safety, just back there at free safety, just handling business.
Julian Minenzone from KZI.
Hey, Verone, hope all is well. Just wanted to get your opinion on, the last kind of week and how you've seen the pandemic kind of affect your team. Did it reinforce maybe just how diligent that you guys have to be when it comes to being healthy and safe off the field to have a full season?
Definitely. Coach Cristobal and our training staff has been really harping on making sure we wear our mask and wash our hands. So to see what happened, it was just, it's college football and that's kind of the world right now. So whatever we need to do, the protocols we need to take, we got to make sure that we take them seriously and make sure that we're doing it to the fullest.
Eric Skopel, 247 Sports.
Verone, we were just talking to DJ, and I asked him about kind of his relationship with Jamel and Triquez coming from a different part of the country. I know you're from Texas, so maybe similar culture shock. Can you kind of reflect on your experience here and maybe any advice you gave to them when they got here?
Oregon's different. It's such a great school. Honestly, from the campus to the teachers to academic staff to our coaches, and it's like a family. And I feel like me coming here and those guys coming here is probably some of the best decisions we've ever had to make in our lives. And I'm so glad to be here, and I'm glad to have those guys along with me. We're all from kind of the southern sector of the United States. So just, embracing kind of the difference from being down south to being in the Pacific Northwest. So I enjoy it here.
James Crapia, the Oregonian.
Verone, as a guy who played obviously last year as a redshirt freshman, how different do you see the step from the two cornerbacks who obviously they played as true freshmen last year, but both in Mike Hale on your side and DJ on the other side, just how much further along do you see them a year later and with that game experience they got last year?
Well, getting game experience helps a lot. So having that game experience and taking into year two helped them tremendously. They're guys, they're ready to go right now. I both put them in, they're ready to start and be contributors and make plays. That's what it's all about in the secondary. We make plays. So those two guys are ready for action at all times, and I trust both of them as corners.
Matt Preem, 247 Sports.
What have you learned about this just overall defense, now that you've had 2.5 weeks of fall camp?
This defense, we really trust one another, and we fly around. We're fast and physical. Those are the two things that I would say are probably the biggest things. We're fast and physical, and we're smart. And we're ready to make plays. We're excited to have an opportunity to play, and just this defense is ready to go. We of course, got to keep getting better and keep getting sharper, but we look good, I think.
A.J. Jacobson, Rivals.
Ron, I wanted to get your veteran opinion of who have been the offensive standouts that have really caught your eye as a guy that from your position gets to see the whole offense.
Oh, who's really caught my eye? Just for younger guys, I would say Trey Benson, Chris Hudson, of course Micah and Jalen Redd. Those are probably like four guys, and Devin Williams. Those are some guys that have really stood out to me. Of course, Red and Micah, we've known about them and everything, but Devin and Chris Hudson and Trey Benson, guys who are really competitive, really, really attack you, and just they look good. They look good.
Kevin Wade, 247 Sports.
Now that you're a few weeks into this year's fall camp, how does it parallel to your previous fall camps here at Oregon? I know there's like different scheduling and the on and off. So how does that parallel to where the team is through the 3 weeks?
Thankfully, we were already prepared. Just with the pandemic and not being sure about what we were going to do, we were always prepared to play. So really, when we got the okay to go ahead and go, we were kind of set. Of course, it's a little bit shorter of time compared to if we started fall camp in the past few years, but I mean, it's still good. Actually, we have time to really take care of our bodies before practice and after practice. So a lot of us like it a little bit better, actually.
Eric Skopel, 247 Sports.
One of the things DJ said helped him kind of get used to being out in a different part of the country was just having Jamel and Triquez with him. He roomed with them. And what was your, I guess, taking a couple years, what was your support system like when you came out here, and who did you lean on?
Justin Hollins and Ugo Amadi. Justin Hollins, especially just because he was from Texas as well. So I would always ask him a lot of questions. And even our equipment guy, Austin Cruz, he's from Houston. So those are two people from Texas that I really talked to. And then Ugo, of course. Ugo took me under his wing early on when I got here. And, I mean, I still talk to Ugo to this day. I talked to Ugo just last week. So
James Capilla, the Oregonian.
Verone, I know you're obviously a film guy. Guessing you probably have taken a look at Stanford a little bit at this point. You guys played Costello last year, and he's not there anymore. And their running backs changed, and their main tight end, who you guys locked down, Javon did a great job against him. He's gone. So just what are your kind of initial thoughts on a quarterback you haven't seen before and a receiver group that lost a big weapon, that tight end?
Well, I mean, they still have weapons offensively, from the quarterback to the running backs to the receivers. They have weapons all around, and we're going to have to make sure we're prepared. This is a game where you can't sleep on them. I mean, just because they lost a few guys, they always bring in new guys that can make plays. So just making sure we dot all our I's and cross all our T's and just look at everybody. They have a lot of playmakers. So
Jerry Thompson, Ducks Illustrated.
Verone, looking back at last year, what was your best highlight personally in a game, and for the team, what was your personal highlight? What game was the most exciting?
I would say the team-wise, the most exciting game was Washington, just because we were down and it was wet. We didn't really have a great first half. It was cold, and then just to see us come back, and it really showed what we do in the fourth quarter and how everything we do in the offseason really all was displayed right there. And then personally for me, I would say the Colorado game. That was kind of one of my breakout games, and just to really show that I'm here and I'm here to stay, and that I'm ready to play big-time college football.
Eric Scopel, 247 Sports.
Yeah, Verone, I guess I wonder, with Jamel Hill, he came in to camp, I think expected to take the spot. It sounds like he's taken ownership of that. Where have you seen his growth, and I guess specifically mentally, going from a reserve last year behind Javon to somebody who's going to need to play some big reps this year?
Just learning a lot from last year and asking a lot of questions between me and Javon last year, just taking him under our wing and just helping him a lot. He's grown. And then this offseason, he really harped in on his footwork and understanding the defense and understanding concepts. So me and him have talked a lot. We've stayed late in meetings and everything, just making sure that we're going over everything, whether it's a personnel set, a different concept, a route concept, what's difficult within the coverage, and just making sure that he's staying on the details. That's something we really harp on, is being detailed in everything we do. So that's what's made Jamel flourish.
James Capilla, the Oregonian.
Ron, you didn't get much of a chance at a rebuttal the other night. I wanted to give you a chance after Tyler said he loves throwing the ball over your head. So how accurate is that, or how many interceptions have you gotten on him since he had the floor to make a statement? Wanted to give you a chance to fire back, really more in a playful way. Just the dynamic that the guy who's vying for the starting quarterback job can it can take those comments and has that latitude with you.
Well, me and Tyler came in together early, and he was my roommate. We were roommates for like 2 years, so I love Tyler so much, one of my best friends. But Tyler does not throw the ball over my head. We make sure that we're on top of everything. I've picked Tyler off before. I have breakups, so it's always fun playing around with him. We love a guy that's competitive, and I'm competitive as well, so we're always going back and forth and just having fun with it.
Warren Williamson, Oregon Duck Football News.
Verone, you talked about the strengths of this defense, the communication, all the stuff that you're bringing into this year. It's such a wacky, crazy year. Game week is almost a few days away. You guys excited to get into game week, and how excited are you to strap it up against Stanford?
Man, as a team, we're itching to go. We're so excited. You can't even really express it because it's here. I mean, we did all of this waiting since March, and now it's here. And just for me, I feel like it's one of those years where I really have something to prove. Last year was my first year. I got my feet wet. Now I'm trying to be dominant. So,
Verone, looks like that's all we have for you. Appreciate your time.
Thank you. Appreciate it.